Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is Clāra, Managing Director of EloQ Communications, a PR and marketing consulting agency in Vietnam. It is my pleasure to walk you through an overview of my latest research, assessing entrepreneurial motivations from the perspectives of Vietnamese founders in the public relations industry. This has been presented at the 9th International Conference on Entrepreneurship and Business Management. First of all, the reason I chose this topic is my background in public relations and my goal to take this industry forward. I have been a public relations practitioner in Vietnam for years, and I want to gain a better understanding on the management side of this industry. An entrepreneur building a company requires much effort and time investment. Sometimes, as the company grows beyond a certain point, these founders are often considered liabilities of their own business. During the growth stage, founders usually have a conflict between to grow and gain more profit and to retain full control of the firm. This dilemma of growth versus control could hinder the growth performance. With the increased importance of SMEs, especially in the Asia-Pacific region, the demands for a research in these topics continues to rise and benefits both the academia and public relations practitioners. Entrepreneurs have different reasons and motivations to become an entrepreneur. Researchers on this topic identified different entrepreneurial motivations that influence the person to start a business. In the 2013 study, Jayawardena and colleagues examined the motivations of the past research and categorized them into three main profiles: career, household, and business. Career motivation is shaped by an individual's background, family, origin, education, and work experience. An entrepreneur with this motivation is pointing to starting a company for autonomy, wealth, and personal purposes. Household motivation is shaped by the economic role in the household. An entrepreneur with this motivation usually starts a company to improve current economic conditions to support the families. The other motivation, business motivation, is shaped by an individual's experience in organizing resources and achieving business outcomes. A person with this motivation usually desires to afford prestige social status through entrepreneurship. As a developing country, Vietnam has different economic and business environments from those of the Western countries that may contribute to the founders' entrepreneurial decisions. Perrin too surveyed more than 200 small business founders in Vietnam, and they concluded that the most crucial motivation to start a company is to become their own boss and to earn better personal income. Given these founding motivations, the research question of this present study is: how do a Vietnamese founder's motivations to launch a company affect their motivations to grow the company? The study adopted the inductive grounded theory approach, which is the process of using data collected from fieldwork to identify, develop, and consolidate concepts. I used a series of in-depth interviews with public relations agencies founders in Vietnam. The data were gathered through semi-structured interviews and analyzed for themes and concepts. I used a combination of purposive, convenience, and snowball sampling techniques to recruit participants. Because Vietnam does not have a public relations association or a directory of practitioners, the total population cannot be identified. Using these sampling techniques and selecting only people with suitable expertise and qualifications, I can save time and effort to locate participants. The participants are the founders of public relations agencies in Vietnam. They should fall under one of the two categories. 1. A founder who chose to retain control during the growth stage. And 2. A founder who released some control to a delegate during the growth stage. The results include 63 focus codes, which were then refined into 10 XEO codes and 3 selective codes. After 12 interviews with the qualified founders, I found a high degree of consistency in theme responses and made little additional change to the codebook. Thus, I consider these 12 interviews as data saturation. Their motivations cover 3 interconnected and changing profiles: career life course, household life course, and business life course. Most founder participants in this study belong to the business life course. They started up as a response to a business opportunity and pursued social status afforded to business ownership, or they started as a response to the challenges of running a business. They focused more on achievements, challenges, wealth creation, rather than business control or flexibility. These motivation profiles are unexpected. Because Vietnam is an underdeveloped country, it might be assumed that Vietnamese founders desire for higher income, better job security, and improved economic status. However, the entrepreneurs studied in this particular public relations industry are more achievement and challenge-driven. Further, some founders are less willing to or prepared for making necessary changes to grow. 11 out of 12 participants choose to keep the agency small since the beginning of the business. 4 participants defined their company strategies as keeping the business small, boutique, and selective, maintaining moderate and sustainable growth. For them, being small means managing more effectively and making more informed decisions. Their reasons aligned with the findings from the literature, which mentioned SME entrepreneurs think that the bigger the company, the more vulnerable it is during a crisis. Being small also makes the firm more flexible and easier to manage. On the topic of delegation, these founders were open to delegation but had difficulties finding the right candidate. They are, or used to be, open to the idea of delegation and willing to train others to take over. This absence of growth dilemma may be because growth and control are not the primary motivation and focus of the founders in this industry. This notion is also different from the reviewed literature, as the founders did not present the growth or delegation dilemma. In conclusion, the study found that founders in Vietnam's public relations industry are challenge-driven, firmly attached to their agencies while lacking sufficient management skills. These founders appreciate learning and earning opportunities more than company growth or control. Thus, they did not demonstrate the growth dilemma usually seen in SME founders. The findings here challenge the assumption that entrepreneurs pursue growth and usually experience the growth versus delegation crisis. This study also contributes by expanding the limited body of knowledge about Vietnamese entrepreneurship, an area that has not been studied well, and the Vietnamese public relations agencies. Here is the list of the references I used for this study. Thank you so much for your interest and for your attention. If you have any question regarding this research, feel free to contact me. Thanks again, and you have a nice day.